shooting happened behind the business. Our crew at the scene could see several shell casings on the ground near the intersection of East Sprague and South Crestline. Looking ahead to tomorrow, a man accused of shooting someone in the jaw on the South Hill is expected to be in court. 65-year-old Gary Cottrill was arrested for first-degree assault after a man confronted him for slashing tires 2 weeks ago. His arraignment is set for tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. A rare move by the Spokane City Council tonight. The council passed a censure resolution against one of its own members. KREM 2's Ian Smays broke this story earlier today, and new tonight he has reaction from Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward.
That passes 5-2.
The Spokane City Council voted on Monday to censure Councilmember Jonathan Bingle. The resolution, sponsored by council members Karen Stratton and Zach Sapone, was brought forth due to Bingle's refusal to wear a mask inside City Hall. The censure doesn't remove any of Bingle's power as a council member. It is instead a formal denouncement of his actions. Other council members have said he refused to wear a mask in City Hall after taking office.
I put this resolution forward because Councilmember Bingle is intentionally breaking the law, and even worse, he's using his office to break the law. This is the opposite of what an elected leader and a public servant should do.
Bingle and fellow District 1 councilmember Michael Cathcart were the two who voted against the censure. Cathcart said he felt the process was rushed and done without enough public discussion. Bingle said he would be open to doing meetings and other work remotely to make others feel comfortable, but he doesn't plan to wear a mask. He said his stance has to do with representing the majority of his constituents.
This is not something I'm doing for self-promotion. Once this blew up in the news, again, not of my own accord, our business has obviously taken a pretty significant hit. This isn't something where I thought I was going to get ahead. This is something where I just listened to the people that I am tasked to represent.
The council also passed a resolution by a 5-2 vote to ask Mayor Nadine Woodward to enforce the city's mask rules and possibly investigate and prosecute those who violate them. Woodward spoke just minutes after the meeting ended. She said she was disappointed that the censure happened, as she thought steps could be taken before that. Woodward also said she thought the council should handle its own disciplinary issues instead of asking her office.
That was my role, is that I had our city attorney direct Bingle to comply, and we'll see what the process, how that rolls out.
The city has also received at least 2 notices from the state that people had reported violations of workplace mask rules at City Hall. Woodward said the city could be fined $14,000 per violation, which comes from taxpayer money. Bingle said multiple times during the meeting that other council members have also violated mask rules. Woodward said she hadn't heard those reports, but that she doesn't know everything that happens in council offices. Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
Also new tonight, if you live in Idaho, you could have unclaimed money. According to the Idaho State Treasurer's Office, thousands of Idahoans could have money in unclaimed property, financial accounts, rebate cards, or anything submitted to the state after the owner could not be found. Right now, the state has unclaimed property totaling up to $207 million. To check to see if you have unclaimed cash, go to that link right there at the bottom of your screen. Now to the Night Beat with a quick look at today's top stories. Today was day 4 of the Freeman community sharing their victim impact statements.
I remember hugging my kids so tight when they were finally released to us, but feeling immense guilt knowing that one mom was not able to do the same.
Today, several parents described the horror they experienced as they raced to Freeman High School hoping their student was safe. In about 5 minutes from now, hear from other parents on how they reacted after finding out about that school shooting. The president of the University of Idaho is rejecting claims that students are being indoctrinated, which he says led to a major cut in the school's budget. University President Scott Green says an independent study by a law firm was unable to substantiate those allegations. Last year, lawmakers cut $2.5 million from the Idaho higher education budgets because of those indoctrination claims. Idaho Governor Brad Little has activated the National Guard to help hospitals and prisons amid the surge of ongoing COVID-19 cases. This is the 4th time the governor has activated the Guard to help with pandemic response. 75 guardsmen will assist primary health in southwest Idaho and the Idaho Department of Corrections. Both are experiencing staffing shortages because so many staff are out right now due to COVID. A little more than 500 additional personnel have been secured through a state contract to assist Idaho hospitals.
Just big catch after big catch. He's competing in the run game. He does so many things. We would have no chance of being here without Cooper Kupp.
Eastern Washington alum Cooper Kupp is heading to the Super Bowl. That was his head coach Sean McVay giving him all the praise. The former Eag scored both of the Rams' touchdowns in last night's win over the 49ers. Coming up in sports, we'll see how Cup's feeling about the transition from playing at Eastern Washington to the biggest football game in the world. And that was your Night Beat. For more on all these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send that information directly to your phone. All right, let's talk weather now. The sun broke through for a little bit here in Spokane today, but it didn't really warm things up at all. Let's get out to meteorologist Thomas Patrick in the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. And Thomas, the next few mornings going to be a bit chilly.
Yeah, at least chillier than they have been, because we have been basically straight down the middle temperature-wise versus what is average and normal for this time of year, but about to get a bit colder for the coming mornings. Already in the mid-20s right now. I think we will largely stay in the mid-20s, save for maybe 1 or 2 hours where we dip a little bit colder before we hit the morning hours. These are the look at the low temperatures for tomorrow morning. Close to about 20 degrees in both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. You see lots of teens in the northern half of the inland northwest. But the coldest weather occurring on Wednesday morning. So not tonight, tomorrow night, now closer to 10 or 12 degrees around our metro areas, single digits up to the north. So certainly going to be quite cold over the next couple mornings. Not the coldest weather we've experienced this year, but still noticeably colder. As for the snowfall, pretty much only over the Cascades tonight and for a couple more days, but we'll show you when that next chance of snow is going to lie for the inland northwest in a few minutes.
Thomas, thank you very much. Looking nationally now, the FDA gave full approval for Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine today. The shots have so far been given to adults under emergency use authorization. This is the second COVID vaccine to be given full approval by the FDA alongside Pfizer's. Johnson & Johnson has not applied for full approval for its COVID vaccine yet. Cleanup work continues after that bridge collapse in Pittsburgh. Today, crews used cables and cranes to lift that bus right there out of the ravine. City officials say that 10 people were treated for just minor injuries. Investigators are still trying to identify the cause of that collapse. And take a look at this fire tonight out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The fire's at a fertilizer plant. Luckily, no reports of anybody being hurt. The cause of the fire is still unknown at this time. All right, don't go to bed just yet. After the break, we'll hear more from one of Sam Strahan's family members as they tell us what it felt like to learn about his death after the shooting at Freeman High School. And later in the broadcast, Eastern Washington's former wide receiver is headed to the Super Bowl. We'll share how his roots are based right here in Washington. We're back in just 90 seconds.